Continue my thoughts from my last recording, where I was trying to explicate the symbolism of a video I think the person I've been calling Bishuasi made way long time ago when I first became aware that this person might have been trying to get in touch with me. We're talking like over 3 years ago, okay? So I was saying that there was more to my meaning to be understood from those white shoes as I watched this person over time. And here's the more. I noticed that she was at least wearing a wedding ring on the wedding ring finger of her hand. That would be the left hand. How do you describe this? Next finger down from the pinky finger. Okay, that's the wedding ring finger. She had on like a gold wedding band on that finger. And when I noticed that early on, while watching her, I said to myself, this person is not married. Even though she has that ring on, she's not married. Now, I've said in recordings like this one that I do not pay attention to those rings on a woman's hand. First of all, because I am not a man out to be in a relationship with a woman. I'm married, and I've never been unfaithful to my wife in over 30 years of marriage, nor have I ever thought about being unfaithful. So when Bishuasi comes along, I was not thinking I might divorce my wife and take up with another woman. No. And well, as far as those rings go, when I was around 24, 25, this woman who had rings on let me know that she wanted to be in a sexual relationship with me, and she persistently let me know that until I finally, this is going to sound very weird for a man to say, gave in and allowed that relationship to happen. She had on a wedding band and an engagement ring. And she didn't mind that other people could see that she was chasing after me, or that she went ahead and got into a sexual affair with me. She didn't care about that at all. Now, that was my experience with those rings. And prior to that, I gotta say that there was this woman who I thought was fantastically beautiful that I had encountered outside a classroom when I was in my last semester at the University of Maryland, fall 1975. And I didn't notice any rings on that woman's hand at the time I encountered her. And she vanished out of my experience. She was going to be in a class that I was taking, and she attended the class like maybe twice and then dropped out. So she disappeared out of my reality entirely. But like a year later, when I was about to start graduate school in the fall of 1976, I ran into her again, and she happened to be a waitress at this restaurant I'd gone to, and she was serving me at my table, and she had on like a diamond ring on that wedding ring finger that I disregarded, and because I said to myself, well, I don't really know much about those rings. Does that ring mean she's married, or what does it mean? So I said to her that I'd like to meet up with her and get to know her better. She had a ring on her hand, and you know what she said? She said to me, you know, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend. Okay, come back and we'll talk. This kind of message. So she had, apparently that was an engagement ring that she was breaking, but did I know it was an engagement ring? No, I didn't. Okay. Now, I'm not a guy who dated women for a lot of reasons. One is I never ran into women that I would ask on a date, and if I did find a woman I'd like to ask, I would get a no. Women would say, I'm married, I got a boyfriend, and so on and so forth. No. So, did I know about those rings? I knew nothing about those rings. Okay, so let me put this on pause a second. I noticed that Bashuasi had a wedding band on. Does she also have an engagement ring? She might have at times. Like I say, even when I was watching her as closely as a man can watch another person, I wasn't paying attention to those rings. I said to myself, and I may give some of the reasons why I said this. I said to myself, even if she has rings on, this woman is not married. I just had this gut feeling. Okay, now here's the idea I eventually came to about her and her rings and the white shoes. Well, watching her, I decided, well, those white shoes were not new white shoes. Let's say she had discovered me and she was thinking, I'm going to be in a relationship with a white man. Let me get a pair of white shoes when I make this video about a hotel where we might stay. I'll go out and buy a pair of white shoes. Well, the white shoes she had on for this video were clearly not new, and they had been worn plenty. So, what did that mean? It meant probably that she was already in a relationship with a white man. And that white man might have been the man who gave her those rings, okay? And she's not married. Why? The white man passed away. He's dead. Those were the rings he gave her. She continued to wear them after he passed away, so she was not married, even though she had rings on. This is what I was telling myself. And I'm saying that the worn nature of those white shoes told me that she was married to a white man that she probably loved. And that's another reason why she continued to wear those rings after he passed away. The way, like, say, my aunt did after my uncle passed away. Continued to wear her wedding and engagement ring until she passed away. That's years and years after he died. So, that explains those rings and the worn white shoes. Now, I could go on in great detail about this symbolism, but I'm going to stop, okay, and conclude this way. This video that I believe she made, how does it end? Well, it ends with her coming out the glass doors of that hotel onto the street at night. A vacant, empty street, right? And what do I see? I see, amazingly, a reproduction symbolically of a drawing I made in a book I had self-published and put online about my inability to start up a relationship with, this is important, a Jewish woman who didn't want me. And in that book, I have all kinds of illustrations, but this may be the only illustration. Oh wait, there's one or two illustrations in this book I drew myself, and this particular illustration that I drew was odd in what way? This particular illustration in this book, which is about a Jewish woman, okay, it showed an Asian woman, like in one of those conical hats, okay? I don't know what they're called. You see like farm women in Asia, in rice fields with these conical hats on to protect their heads from the sun. And I think men wear them too over there. Anyway, I had this woman wearing one of those, and she was like seen from behind, and her shadow was cast out in front of her, which I drew, of course, crudely. And amazingly, I see that this video ends with a reproduction of that drawing that had been in my book. And, well, what was unusual about that drawing in the book? The book had nothing to do with Asian women at all at that time. That book I wrote in, I believe, well, at least I self-published, I think in 1992, around there, okay? So, at that time, I had nothing to do with Asian women, nor were they on my mind in any way. However, I had read The Tale of Q, which is what you might call a national epic of Vietnam. I had read that, been quite impressed by it, and I had devoted a lot of time to reading all about America's war in Vietnam. I was taken to reading book after book on America and its struggle with Vietnam, so that I had come to a kind of reverence for the character of Asians as represented by the Vietnamese. And it could be that this Asian woman appearing in this drawing that I made was to symbolize a kind of true love. I was thinking probably at that time that I wasn't finding true love among white women, and I wasn't even finding it from this Jewish woman in this book that I'd written. And within the book, I was coming to the glimmering awareness that true love for me might be found in an Asian woman, where my mind was beginning to turn toward the idea that Asians may have shared many of the values I had in association with what true love might actually be. A kind of loyalty, a faithfulness, a truthfulness, a steadfastness, things that I wasn't finding in Western culture. And so that's why that character appeared. Well, this person, and I'm calling Bashuasi, how did she get interested in me? Well, I had all my books online by the time she made this video. They'd been online for years, at least since, before 2016, all 50 of my books were online. And this video by Bashuasi appeared online like in 2022, 2023, something like that. So, Bashuasi, as far as I could tell, had become aware that I was alive, probably by coming to my online publications, and that's how, when she ended this video she made, which I think she made She amazingly reproduced that drawing I had put in my book by showing how when she came out the doors of that restaurant, she cast her own shadow out into the street, very much like that Asian woman in the drawing I made. Amazingly like that. And when I saw that, that's one of the main reasons I said, Bishuasi made this, not somebody else. Because nobody else would have been able to create the image she created to end her video. They couldn't have done it. They wouldn't have had interest in me to be able to develop an image like that in a video. It wouldn't have happened. So, we'll put this on pause. To conclude, I was declared by the United States to be a certified schizophrenic when I was 28 years old. I'm now in my 70s. Now, I was saying that there's on into infinity 1% chance that this person, Bishuasi, and I are going to get together. Well, if you consider the things I've done in my life after being declared to be that certified schizophrenic, and you know anything about schizophrenics, never mind certified, but add certification to that schizophrenic, you're going to say that there was on into infinity 1% chance that I'd have been able to do the things I've done in my life. You'd say there's no way a certified schizophrenic could have done what this guy has done. So, with that in mind, I'm saying that I'm saying what should be common sense here. In spite of the fact that it looks, even to me, like the relationship between me and this person, Bishuasi, I'm calling Bishuasi, is impossible, so has been everything I've been doing for the last over 40 years of my life been that way. So I'm going to continue to believe that this relationship can happen. Even while saying what I just said. That's all from me for now. Bye for now.